Hi Julie, what's here? Welcome to my YouTube channel and welcome to another video using the brand new Sentimentally Yours creative packs. And this one is featuring the Peony Whisper. I have already done a video of this one, so you'll find that obviously here on my YouTube channel. Just to let you know, you will find the creative packs on my website, juliawattscrafts.co.uk, and also the coordinating paper packs and also the brand new 3D embossing folders. And you'll also find them over at Honeypot Crafts as well. So just very quickly, just a very quick look at these. So you've got 24 sheets, 2 sheets of each of 12 designs and 250 GSM, and they are A4, and there's just one sheet I've pulled out, one sheet to work with and one sheet to just love. Really pretty, lots of elements on here for you to use, borders, tags, little hearts. You've got sort of pinky shades, you've got roses on here as well as peonies. These are your old-fashioned roses. You've got little butterflies, lots of shades of pinks and peachy colour, peachy pink. Got little clocks on there. You've got little banners for you to stamp into. Diamonds on here. I've not seen diamonds from Phil before. Beautiful peony heads here, full peonies. Yeah, I think those are rose leaves. Maybe they are all peonies. I don't know. They can be what you want them to be, can't they? Beautiful pale pink on this one. Really pretty. Really pretty. And then you've got your background papers, and this time Phil's done so you've got the full 8 1/4 width, and then you've got 8 1/4 length, and then you've got a band, a separate band here, which can be for tags and DL cards as well, and make a beautiful scrapbook page. I'm going through this quicker because on my previous video I took lots and lots of time going through, and I don't want to do that this time. But they are absolutely beautiful, just stunning. You've got vintage lace on the bottom of this one. They are too nice to use, actually. They're absolutely gorgeous. So that's your creative pack. Just showing you one sheet of each there because I pulled the other one out to use. So that's your Peony Whisper, and then you've got your coordinating Peony Whisper 8x8. And these are 190 GSM, so these are papers, or they're lightweight cardstock really. And you've got 2 sheets of each, 24 designs, and these will coordinate beautifully with what is in the creative pack. And obviously, when we've had creative packs before, we haven't actually had these 8x8s. And having the 8x8 means that your creative pack's going to go further, because I think that we all ran out of background papers before we ran out of toppers. I mean, obviously you can just have an embossed background with your topper if you want to, but I think it's lovely to have the extra papers. But again, they're too beautiful to use. It's absolutely stunning. Great for scrapbooking. These are the plainer ones, so obviously these are the ones you're probably going to want to use the most. In coordinating pinks, peachy pinks, and then you've got a grey, which is one I'm going to use. And then you've got a couple of greens in here as well. So very quickly, that's your 8x8 paper pack, Peony Whisper, to coordinate with your creative pack. So for this demo, we're going to make an A5 card. It's not really an A5 card because it's a card front, but we're pretending that it's a card front. And I have taken, let's get my top of it. I'm using the Graceful squares. From the Layered Differently collection, Graceful squares, and I've taken one of the toppers, and this one was a round topper. Let's see if I can find the sheet for you. It's in the grey ones. Where is it? This one. So I took that one and I've changed the shape of it because I've used my Graceful squares, and I've used this one here. This one will just about cut it out, but you've got a little bit of white on the edge, on a couple of, well, the edges that stick out there, those four. But so if you wanted to just ink around the edges with the grey, you'll hide it. So you can go up to the bigger one, but I've used the bigger one to do my layer. So I mean that's just really pretty as it is, isn't it? Okay. Excuse me. And then for my next layer, I've used the new, I can't remember the names of these embossing folders yet. Ornate Circles embossing folder, and look at the depth on that. Can you see? Can you see how deep it is? It's just incredible, and it's ignore my arrows. My arrows are telling me which way to put things. It's even fabulous on the back as well, and this coordinates with the texture die. That's my arrow, so that's going to go there, and that's going to go there. Yeah. Remember, they don't all line up. So so that's going to be my back layer, and this is your 8x8 embossing folder with your design printed on the front. Really, really deep embossing folder. And do spritz your card with a little bit of water, and then on both sides, and then pop it through, and then you don't get any cracking. Check, you might have to play around with your sandwich. I use the Go Power from Culture Creations, and I use my my base plate, my A plate, and then I've got a 2mm plate which I got from Slipscreen on eBay, and then I use my folder with the card in it, and then I use a 3mm plate. So that's the sandwich I use. Okie dokie, so that's from the Graceful squares, and then we've gone up to, that's not the largest. What have we used? I think we've used, did we use that one? No, I think we used that one. Yeah, so we used these two in the Graceful squares to cut those layers out. So those will go on there like so. Already looks really pretty, doesn't it? And then for my back layers, I'm using the Layered Differently Elegance rectangles to cut out that background paper, which was from the 8x8. And then I've used, because I like to use them together if I can, I've used the Layered Differently Ornate rectangles. And I think it's called Steel. It's the luster card. It's the darkest of the silvers. And I cut the background one out of that. And then I've also got a little label that I may or may not use. I've got two of them actually that I may or may not use, cut from the paper pad. I've got a couple of borders as well. Not sure which one. I'm not sure where we're going yet. And I've got one of the charmed borders, and these the charmed dies should be back in stock in April. I will open up taking pre-orders when it's nearer the time. So this is charmed borders too. So I've used this one here. This one. Okay. And that's for my sentiment. So I'm thinking, you see, I'm trying to decide whether I want to have the border on top, the fat one, and just a little bit of the border shown underneath, because that's quite cool, isn't it? It brings the white in. Or whether I want to have the smaller border across the middle, and then we've got more of the border showing from the outside. I might do that actually. Don't know where we're going at the moment. But what we do want to do is actually do a bit of inking and stick some of the layers together and stamp a sentiment. So let's stamp the sentiment first, so that's out of the way. And we're going to use a sentiment from the Just Saying Rustic Words of Inspiration sentiments. And there are lots of like banners that you can stamp on. But I'm going to do this in white, on white card. And we're going to have Make Memories Every Day. going to use a block for this. Just pop it down there very carefully. Give that ink a chance to settle into the card. And then we've got our make memories every day. Okay. And I've already gone ahead and done one of those ahead of time, but I like to show you how easy it is to stamp with a block. Rattle, rattle, rattle. So this one I've actually cut out already. And I cut it out using the smallest die in the Ornate rectangles. So it's this one. I use this one a lot actually. Okie dokie, so that's all that. So let's do a little bit of inking. So I'm thinking, I can't decide whether to use weathered wood or hickory smoke. So I think weathered wood is going to win out. I think. Yeah, we'll try weathered wood first, which is this one. So just to kind of set it off a little bit. I'm just going to go around all the edges. This is where you go and get a cup of tea. It does make a difference. It does kind of set it off. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I like it to be just completely clean. That's going to go on there. And then we're going to go around the edges of our embossed piece. It's honestly, if you could feel how thickness it is, it's thick. So what's that? It was in one of the old TV programs, wasn't it? Never mind the quality, feel the width. Was that on a TV program? Was it on Are You Being Served or something like that? So that's that. We'll sort the arrows out in a bit. And we go around our sentiment. If you've only just stamped your sentiment, do be careful that you don't stick your fingers in it and smudge it. I actually stamped this yesterday, so we're all right, I reckon. We'll soon find out. Okay, so that's edged, and we will edge. Shall we edge both of these? Which one do I want to use? I think I'm going to use the one with the text on it, so we won't ink around the other one just in case I want to use it for something else and the grey doesn't match. I might want to edge it in pink, and if it's edged in grey, I'm a bit scuppered, aren't I? And we'll edge the background paper as well. So I don't think we're using that one. And you can run this through your embossing folders as well, but as I'd used an embossing folder on the white piece, I felt it might be a bit much using another embossing folder on the card. Obviously, you do whatever you want to do. It would be quite nice to use something like picket fence or even some gesso around the edges of this. But I'm sticking with the weathered wood because that's what I've got on my other layers. Just be careful that you don't bend it as you're going round. Okie dokie. That's all my inking done. That didn't take too long. Right, where are we at? Right, let's get this on here, I think, first, and then we can deal with the border. Figure out what we're doing with that. So we just glue this down with some PVA. using the 2 rectangles or the 2 squares together, because we get that gap for pearls. Okay, that. So if this goes over the edge, I know it needs trimming, because this will go up here. If we have that in the middle, then we can have that in the middle of that. I like that, that's what we're going to do. Right, so first of all we need to put this on. So have I got my other bit of scribble? Yes. You just heard my cat. My cat is loitering. He's either scraping on the door outside, he's scraping on the door inside, or he's wanting to be fed. But it's not feeding time yet. It's an hour and a half before his feeding time. Maybe he's got worms. Do indoor cats get worms? I don't know if they do, because they don't pick anything up. So they shouldn't get worms. You shouldn't get worms, and you shouldn't get fleas, because he's an indoor cat. Anyway, I'm very well telling him what he should and shouldn't do. He just never listens to me. He's like all the boys in this house. So let's see if we can get this in some glue. That'll do. We want to get those so they're evenish. That looks evenish. All by accident and design. Oh, I can't see. It's down more on that side. Right, we're going with that. And then this will go. You put that on a bit of tape, or should we just glue it? I think just glue it. But we don't need that big piece, so we can already chop it off there, because then I can keep a little bit. I might want to use that little bit for something else. That's a nice little bit. Don't want to stick glue on something that doesn't need glue on it. Right. I'm very frugal with my papers because I don't really want to use them. The sunflower one I can't bear to cut into at the moment. I do need to make sure I can get it. Which way up do I want it? Let's have it that way up. I'm faffing quite a bit because I want to make sure it's straight. Okay. I'll trim it off in a minute. Right, let's get these bits stuck together. So we've got my arrows up there, so we have my arrow painting that way, and this arrow is there. Also remember I want to tuck something underneath as well. Not underneath this, but underneath, between the next layers. I don't know if you can hear, this is me trying to get the glue on. It's so deeply embossed. I mean, Phil's embossing folders are deep anyway, but these are just another level. It's the first time he's done kind of proper 3D embossing folders. I'm sure it won't be the last time. In fact, I know there's some more coming after these. That's down. Then I'll stick these two together at the minute. These don't have a, I think these are all right. At least I hope they are. Doesn't matter with that layer that they're going onto, because there's a big gap, so it doesn't matter too much. Beautiful flower. It's the text as well. Attention to detail. That's what it is. Fabulous. Get that lined up. Absolutely beautiful. Then I thought we could, I mean, this is going to go on tape, but I thought we could have a little bit of that pointing out of there, like that, and maybe a little bit pointing out on the other side. I don't know what I'm doing with these, but we'll see. Phil's the tucker-innerer. He does all the tucking. Let's get some tape on the back of this. What are we going to use? I'm running out of what's it tape. I think we're going to have to go up to 2mm, because I've only got a little bit of 1mm left, so we're going to have to go up to 2, which is not really what I want to do. Hopefully I'll have some more 1mm by the end of the week. Otherwise I'm going to have to pause, which is not good. Not good. Or we're going to have to do flat cards. Right, so let's just take the backs off these for a minute. And we'll put, where's my print? There it is. I'll put a print on the back of these. That one up there like that. I'll pick that one up. Talk about faff. That's what we're doing. That seems to be the easiest way I could think of to do that. And of course I've only used one of these rather than having to use two. This is going to go on here. Like so. And then we're going to put this on the top. We should be able to trim this down now. Where's my scissors? There. Okay. Went somewhere else. That's nice and neat and tidy now. So let's get this on our base card. Remember, it's an A5. 2mm again, because that's all we've got really. Yep, I don't want to use those scissors, so I don't want to sticky those up. Right, mate? You alright? He's not looking impressed. I normally like it when Ed's in the craft room with me, but not when I'm trying to do a video and he's being a piece. He's actually being quite good now, just sitting looking at me, you know, like cats do. Like, hurry up and feed me, Mum. You don't need feeding yet. We do our prick thing. As always, the prick hides from me. I don't know why it hides. Which way up are we? We're this way. And let's have a look, see where we're at. On my tiptoes around the camera, which probably means I'll hit the camera in a minute. And then we'll pop our topper on. I'm actually going to put a little bit of 1mm at the back of this, rather than put it up to 2. Scissors looking at me. I'm being quite frugal with my tape though, because I haven't got much left. I might mention that. What did I do? There's my sentiment. I can see my sentiment's going to go on 1 definitely. I remember somebody saying to me once that if you're deciding whether to put things on foam pads or not, or a sentiment on foam pads, you need to look to see whether anything else is on foam pads and then put that on if it is. I don't know, but I think rules are there to be broken, aren't they? You do whatever you want. So we're going to have this kind of in the middle, pointing at that middle bit there. Then we're going to grab our sentiment and put some 1mm on there, and then we just need to finish it off with some pearls and we're done. So I'm not doing extra flowers, I'm not making it really fussy. You can obviously do that if you want to, but we're keeping it fairly simple. I'm sure I will graduate towards putting some on at some point. So this seems to be the width of, where does that go? I need to go over a bit. Off. Trying to do it so that it kind of lines up there, which I seem to have managed. Now we just finish it off with some pearls in each corner. We'll go for the porcelain white. Could go for silver, but then I'd have to find them. So we're just going to go for the porcelain white, and we'll go for the 8mm, wherever I put them. There they are. Use the pick-up tool, pop them in the corner. Oh, where are we? Just adjusting these so that they look like they're evenish. I think that was pretty evenish to my eye anyway. There we go, all done. So quite a plainish card, very simple to do because all the work's done by the creative pack. I hope you enjoyed it. As a reminder, you'll find the products over on my website juliawattscrafts.co.uk and also over at honeypotcrafts.co.uk as well. Do like and subscribe on my YouTube channel. I do love to read your comments, and as per, thank you so much for watching.